reservations, which is nice. So according to TripAdvisor, this is your number 2 top travel pick in New Orleans. It was second only to... Huh? There we go. The National World War II Museum. Frenchman Street beat Bourbon Street. If you hadn't been to Frenchman Street, you definitely haven't seen it all yet. Now recently in National Geographic Traveler, they said New Orleans is the best U.S. city for live jazz. We were shocked by the news. In Travel and Leisure, we are ranked by readers the best U.S. city for cocktails. We were stunned. So let's say we're here in New Orleans. We've decided we'd like to do both of these things. I don't think it's too much to ask. So tonight we'll head down to Snug Harbor. They open at 5. And we'd like to have a refreshing adult beverage. But since we're in New Orleans, right, you can have a cocktail pretty much anywhere. But since you're in New Orleans, you don't want to have a cocktail. We want to have the cocktail. The first official cocktail in New Orleans. To have one of those, do you know what you need to ask for? Not the Hurricane. I've talked to a few people about the Hurricane. Some people here don't like it. Something about the name. I'm not sure what that means. It's a good guess. It's just too new. That's a good guess. It's still too new. A little older. Oh, there we go. Somebody's been doing some homework. I appreciate that. I respect that. The Sazerac is waiting for his time. That's right. The Sazerac. That's right. Official cocktail of this city. None other than the Sazerac. Sazerac was invented a few blocks to the left on Royal Street by a Haitian-born apothecary named Deschaux. An apothecary at the time kind of serves the role of a pharmacist meets a bartender. He would create a medicinal elixir using bitterroot to cure his friend's stomach maladies. The Sazerac proved so effective, so potent, it gained widespread use and popularity. Like other types of medications, we've discovered the Sazerac can cure almost any host of malady or ailment. You just get the dosage high enough, and eventually you forget whatever your malady was. Still works to this day. Sazerac still works. Have you tried a Sazerac, sir? Never had one. But you were researching cures for your stomach malady. Okay. I can hear you got a stomach malady in your voice. I can hear it. I can hear that. On the left, that is the last part of the original city, the French Quarter. On the right, that's the Marigny, the second oldest part of the city. And what you notice about the oldest parts of the city, they're right by the river, the edge of the bowl, the lip. Now, for some of y'all, that sounds backwards, but remember, we're a bowl. The highest part of the bowl is the edge, the lip. If you're sitting in the very front, you can see in front of us, you can see the earth dropping down. You can actually see us rolling in. So we're on the lip right now. Once you pass this intersection, we're dropping into the bowl. The floodwaters of Katrina began right here, left, right. So behind us, the lip didn't flood, but now we're rolling in. Everything from this point on is flooded. Now, a little water here, because we're just dipping in, right? So this is the next oldest part of the city. And then, as we continue away from this point, we're getting lower and newer and lower. So here, there's a little water. When we get as far as we will, it would have been over 14 feet. We're not there yet, but we're on the way. But everything from here on is flooded. This is Faubourg Treme. This is where Buddy Bold and Jelly Roll Morton, Louis Armstrong, Sidney Bechet get their start. Syncopation, Call and Response, Walking Bass. This is the birthplace of jazz, the birthplace of Jazz Fest. Also regarded the oldest African-American neighborhood in the U.S. and where Homer Plessy is from. On the left, Little Dizzy's Cafe was featured on Travel Channel for some of the best gumbo in the U.S. And Sofia Vergara says, the best fried chicken in the world. Though I don't think Sofia Vergara eats a lot of fried chicken. When she does, it's right there. The chef there is Kevin Belton. He just got a show on PBS. He's a lot of fun to watch. If you want to cook some good New Orleans food, go find Kevin Belton on PBS or YouTube. Okay, so let's talk about some important stuff. How do you make a Sazerac? So, Sazerac would have been first made with Sazerac de Forges Cognac from Limoges. Basically, Sazerac brand cognac. By around 1870, we've run out of cognac, so we switched to American-made rye whiskey. If you're to ask for Sazerac today, you're probably going to get Sazerac brand rye whiskey, Peychaud's bitters, absinthe, a twist of a lemon peel, and muddled sugar cubes from chilled straight up in a rocks glass. Any alterations to the recipe could reduce its medicinal effect. Must be made just so. On the right, this is the former home of Baldwin Wood, civil engineer. This guy's important to our conversation later. We're not going to talk about Wood just yet. We are going to talk about this guy in just a bit. Anyway, Sazerac is considered the first branded cocktail in the country. It will produce the Sazerac bar, which is still around, and eventually turns into the Sazerac Company. They've been in the city, family run, since 1850. Today, they are the second biggest distiller in the U.S., and they own about 300 different brand names you've probably heard of. Taka, Tuaca, Skoll, Crown Roos, Old Charter, Blanton's, Martin's, Buffalo Trace, Cuddy Stark, Eagle Rare, Goldschlager, Myers, Seagram's, VO, Parrot Bay, Southern Comfort. The biggest seller they had last year. Tastes like heaven, burns like hell. Even Mr. 305 made a song about it. Dolly. You know what that is? No? You're going to know when you hear it. Fireball. Y'all know about Fireball. If you take a bottle of Fireball, turn it over, it says, proudly produced by the Sazerac Co. of New Orleans. Questions or comments? Call 1-866-SAZERAC. On the left, you can see a couple of really brightly painted homes. The first inhabitants of this neighborhood came from Haiti. At the end of the 1700s, Haiti has massive revolts that double the population of New Orleans. These bright colors, just kind of remnants of the Caribbean roots here of New Orleans. Coming up on the left, there's a house with a French flag. This is Edgar Degas house. Degas lived here for about 2 years. It's the only studio he uses that's open to the public. Coming up on the right, we're going to pass a remnant of Katrina. It is a boat. When the water came up 14 years ago, whatever could float did. When the water got pumped out, boop, that boat dropped off. Oh, wow. Sitting there ever since.
Wow.
All right, in just a moment, we're going to be at our cemetery stop that's coming right up. Right after that, be the rest stop for resting and stopping. Some call it the PP stop. And then we're going to go to the 9th Ward. Does that sound okay with y'all?
Sure.
Yep. Okay. Are we feeling better? Temperature okay?
Yeah.
Better? Okay. Questions so far?
Oh, it's tasty.
Unfortunately, not anymore. I know. I wish they did, but not anymore. They said that if enough people ask for it, they're going to apply for a liquor license. But as of right now, it's just coffee and soft drinks. Okay, we just left Treme. We just got a little newer, a little lower. We just jumped to about 1840 here, which you'll notice compared to behind us, the street's a little wider. Left, right, the oak trees, just like St. Charles. This is intended to be the avenue for this side. This is the competition of St. Charles. This is the avenue for this side. This is Esplanade. My favorite house in Esplanade is on the right. Second house, white house, green trim, red steps, called the Steamboat House. Look down the right side, you see it stretches back forever.
Wow.
Also left, right, you notice the home says the word offset or stagger. There's a big lake in front of us. The breeze would come off the lake down the avenue. The homes are staggered so one neighbor doesn't block the breeze from the next. Also left, right, the big oak trees provide shade, but they also produce a sort of wind tunnel effect, helps condense the breeze and deliver it to these homes. Before we could reach out and crank the thermostat down, we had to think of this stuff. We are on the same line of latitude as Cairo, Egypt. We are as sunny as Cairo with a boatload more humidity.